Hi there and welcome to the Daily Arsenal News Show. Let's dive into today's top stories. Michail Antonio thinks people have been really harsh on £30 million Arsenal player recently. West Ham United striker Michail Antonio thinks people have been harsh on Arsenal goalkeeper David Raya recently. Antonio has been speaking on the Footballers Football podcast and discussed Raya's recent form in an Arsenal shirt. Raya has received some scrutiny over the past week after a shaky performance at Chelsea over the weekend. The 28-year-old was at fault for Mykhailo Mudryk's goal and also nearly made a costly error as he gave the ball to Cole Palmer. The Spaniard put in a slightly more assured display at Sevilla last night, despite giving the ball away once again in the first half, and Antonio believes the criticism Raya has received has been out of line. Speaking on the Footballers Football podcast, Antonio believes Modric's goal could have happened to any top goalkeeper. He said, I think it's harsh. I honestly think it's harsh. People talking about Raya and the opportunity there. In that situation, I think it could happen to anybody because most keepers are setting up for the cross to try and see if they can come out and claim it. It's happened so many times in football, you never expect someone to miskick the ball in professional football, so you position yourself in the right position for what's going to happen. Of course, it remains unclear whether Modric's attempted cross was an intentional effort at goal, but Raya has received criticism following the 2-2 draw at Chelsea as he was caught off his line. The £30 million man has recently replaced Aaron Ramsdale as Mikel Arteta's preferred choice between the sticks. He enjoyed some decent games in an Arsenal shirt so far, but he is also looked shaky with the ball at his feet. Some Arsenal fans have even called for Ramsdale to get another opportunity between the sticks after some questionable performances from Raya. Yet, it seems that Arteta is determined to stick by the former Bees shot-stopper for the time being. Mikel Arteta says 26-year-old Arsenal player did something special against Sevilla. Mikel Arteta singled out Gabriel Jesus for praise after Arsenal picked up a crucial win in Seville on Tuesday night. Arteta spoke to TNT Sports after watching his side grind out a 2-1 win away to Sevilla in the Champions League. Gabriel Jesus stole the show as he produced an exceptional assist for Gabriel Martinelli in the first half before grabbing a goal of his own in the second period. The 26-year-old rifled his effort into the top corner after cutting in off the left-hand side. Jesus looked back to his brilliant best before being forced off with a hamstring injury last night, and he impressed the Arsenal boss. Speaking to TNT Sports, Arteta singled out Jesus for praise and claimed his performance was special. He said, well, that's what we need. You need magic moments in big games, and you need the big players to step in and create those moments. We had a big opening in the first few minutes with Martinelli through to score. We need players to perform at their best, and today, Jesus done something special. Jesus was eventually replaced by Edin Ketia after the forward went down holding his hamstring. He limped off the pitch, and Arteta admitted the Brazil star picked up an injury in Seville. It would be a significant blow for Arsenal to lose Jesus once again after the striker missed the start of the campaign. The Gunners look a far better side with Jesus leading the line, and they will be hopeful his injury doesn't turn out to be a serious one. Jesus has struggled to find the back of the net in the Premier League, but he netted 3 times in as many games in Europe. He is currently the top scorer in the Champions League, and he is proving to be the man for the big occasion this season. Arteta struck gold with the 22-year-old Arsenal ace who shone versus Sevilla. Arsenal defender William Saliba delivered a strong display as the Gunners triumphed at Sevilla in the Champions League. The 22-year-old Gunners ace didn't have the best time in the draw with Chelsea, but he made up for it in the midweek European trip. Saliba dealt well with the physical threat of Yusuf Nsairi and continued to impress as the host ended up switching to two up top. Despite also having to deal with Mariano Diaz, the Arsenal star remained strong and reliable, with little getting past him. It seemed like Saliba won pretty much every 50-50 challenge and every header. Indeed, his stats from the night make for good reading. As per who scored, the Arsenal centre-back made an impressive 7 clearances as well as 1 tackle. He also won 5 aerial challenges and got 64 touches, the most out of any Gunners player on the night. Mikel Arteta has well and truly struck gold, not only when signing Saliba, but also for how he allowed him to develop as a player. For years, some Arsenal fans were criticizing the manager for not throwing the player in at the deep end. Instead, Saliba went out on loan several times before finally making his debut a year ago. He ended up hitting the ground running for Arsenal and became one of their most important players in their Premier League title challenge. Indeed, there are those who say Saliba's injury was the main reason why the Gunners didn't manage to get over the line in the title race. It's baffling to think that Saliba is just 22 years old, yet he pretty much looks like the complete centre-back already, considering that defenders are deemed to reach their peak in their mid to late 20s. He is probably nowhere near the finished product. Michael Owen says 24-year-old Arsenal player is absolutely massive. Michael Owen has heaped praise on Arsenal star Declan Rice, but believes he is best suited to a defensive midfield role in Mikel Arteta's side. The Englishman has started the last 2 games as a left-sided number 8 for Arsenal. He has been given the freedom to play as an attacking midfielder when the Gunners have possession, and he has done pretty well. Owen, however, claimed on TNT Sports that he prefers him in a deeper role. Arsenal smashed their transfer record in the summer to sign Declan Rice from West Ham United. The 24-year-old is an amazing footballer. He mostly played as a 6 for the Hammers, and that's usually his role under Gareth Southgate in the England setup as well. However, Mikel Arteta has used him in a more advanced role on plenty of occasions this season, including in the Champions League against Sevilla last night. Rice had a really good game in his attack-minded midfield role, but Michael Owen is still adamant that his best position is in front of the back four. The Ballon d'Or winner said on TNT Sports the following: "I do watch him and I do genuinely believe he is more of a sitting midfielder. That's not to say that shackles him, he can still go on the odd Marunding run when the time is right, but in general, I don't see him as a player that is a number 10 that can play with his back to goal and things like that. He is a massive man, he is a mountain of a man. To stand in the middle there and patrol the back four is what I think he does best." When Arsenal have nobody else available, using Declan Rice as a number 6 makes sense. The Englishman, along with Rodri, is the best defensive midfielder in the Premier League, but Rice can do so much more than just patrol the back four. The 24-year-old showed yesterday how dangerous his driving runs towards goal can be. He is quick, and his power makes it very difficult to stop him when he is charging forward. When Thomas Partey or Jorginho are available, we think Arteta will continue to use Rice as a left-sided number 8. That role suits both him and Arsenal, as he will be able to have an impact in attack as well as defense. Sky Sports Pundit slates Arsenal player versus Sevilla. Arsenal captain Martin Odegaard earned some criticism from Sky Sports Pundit Sue Smith for a good chance he missed in the Champions League trip to Seville. In the 48th minute of the match, the Gunners' skipper had a good opportunity to double the lead for Mikel Arteta's side. Gabriel Martinelli played in Gabriel Jesus, but Orion Nyland denied the Brazilian striker from a tight angle. The ball fell to Odegaard and, with Nyland out of his goal, the 24-year-old had an empty net at his disposal. However, Odegaard couldn't get his technique right and ended up putting the ball over. Smith said on Soccer Special via Sky Sports website the following: "They have started so well, Odegaard should do better. He just leans back and it goes over, but a really positive start for Arsenal." Mikel Arteta ended up taking his captain off midway through the second half, with Kai Havertz taking his place. Arsenal managed to get over the line in the end, running out 2-1 winners. There is no doubting Odegaard's quality and what he has done with and for Arsenal since joining. However, he has suffered a bit of a downturn in form and has looked below par of late. For instance, Odegaard struggled to get on the ball against Chelsea and lacked his usual quality. Likewise, against Sevilla, the Gunners' midfielder simply wasn't at his best. This poses a bit of a dilemma for Arteta, as Odegaard is normally an indispensable player, not to mention his captain. However, the Arsenal boss does have several players who could potentially take his place if he needs a rest. Emil Smith-Rowe, Kai Havertz and Fabio Vieira are at Arteta's disposal if he fancies resting Odegaard. Arsenal may contact over signing incredible Spain international who is even quicker than Kylian Mbappe. Arsenal have now made checks over Nico Williams, with the athletic winger currently set to be out of contract at the end of the season. That's according to a report from 90 Minutes, which notes that Tottenham have also looked into a potential deal for the 21-year-old. Nico Williams has made a rapid start to the new season, providing 4 assists in just 7 La Liga games. Unfortunately for Athletic, his future looks to be incredibly uncertain. As things stand, his contract expires at the end of the season, and while Athletic remain optimistic of agreeing a new deal with the wide man, he is attracting plenty of attention. According to 90 Minutes, Arsenal, Tottenham, Liverpool, and Aston Villa have all inquired about the youngster recently. In fact, Unai Emery's side pursued a deal in the summer, only for Williams to decide to remain in Spain. It would be no surprise to see Arsenal target a new winger in the January window. Certainly, Mikel Arteta's side could definitely do with someone who can provide cover and competition for Bukayo Saka. Williams has predominantly played on the left wing for the Basque side so far this season, but the large majority of his appearances for Athletic have come from the right, so he would have the ability to come in for Saka when required. He has been labelled an incredible athlete, admittedly, by his brother Inaki, but he is also someone who is becoming more and more of a fixture in the Spain squad. He is into double figures for caps for his country, and he is apparently even quicker than Kylian Mbappe via Sportskida. And if Arsenal could add him to their ranks in January, it would be a really exciting signing, which may not cost a huge amount considering his contract situation. Tottenham could rival Arsenal for a transfer of Champions League defender. Tottenham could reportedly be among the transfer suitors for Sacha Boey, with the French fullback also recently linked with Arsenal. The 23-year-old has impressed in his time in Turkey and also in the Champions League this season, so it seems clear that he could soon be ready to make the step up to a top Premier League side. Photosport, via Sport Witness, recently claimed Arsenal were among the teams monitoring Boey, and now further reports from various Turkish outlets, all cited and translated by Sport Witness, have Spurs' name in the mix as well. Arsenal could do with someone like Bowie coming in as cover for the injured Julian Timber on that right-hand side, while Spurs might also benefit from adding more depth to their backline. Bowie would surely be tempted by either of the North London giants at the moment, with both clubs faring really well in the Premier League this season. Arsenal are currently third, just 2 points off surprise league leaders the Spurs, who have shown huge improvement under their new manager, Ange Postecoglou. As we wrap up today's Arsenal news, remember to stay tuned for daily updates right here on the channel. Don't miss out on the latest updates, so make sure to hit that subscribe button and give us a like if you found this information valuable. Your support means the world to us. Thanks for watching, and until next time, take care.